Hi friends, this is Tina Zink and I am still in the process of sharing all the cards that I have collected over the years, and they're all using retired product that's only good until the end of May. It's May 2018. And this is part 3. So I hope these cards inspire you, and if there's something that you see that you love that's retiring, make sure you get it. There's no guarantee that certain items on these projects haven't already sold out, because remember, these retired items are available while supplies last. So let's get into it. So here's a card that I made. I love this card. I love the colors, and this is made with the Flying Home stamp set, and this set is in our current occasions catalog. It's retiring. I just think it's adorable. And the flowers are from the Petal Palette bundle, which is currently available as a bundle where you save 10% when you get the dies and the stamps. They're being carried in the new catalog, but all of our current bundles are no longer bundles once the new catalog starts, which means you can only save 10% on those bundles until the end of this month. After that, you have to buy them separately. So that's what these flowers are from, is that Petal Palette bundle. And this stamp here, the sentiment, is from the Lift Me Up stamp set, which is current and it's being carried over. Here's another card that I made. This was a swap that I made. So this U is from the Celebrate Thinlits that you could get free during our celebration. They're being carried over to the new catalog, but this stamp set retired with the celebration. But I wanted to show you this beautiful paper because it's retiring. It's in our current occasions catalog. It's called the Painted with Love Specialty Designer Series paper, and it's so beautiful. I used tons of it. I think I went through like 2 or 3 packs during celebration. Not even certain that it's still available because, of course, it's while supplies last. But I came across that card, so I thought I would share it with you. And again, these are great layouts, great inspiration. Quite often I take cards that I've made in the past or cards I've gotten for swaps, and I just change out the product that was used using current product. And it's a great jumping point when you need some inspiration to start stamping. The Whisper White cardstock was cut with the Sweet and Sassy framelits, the heart framelits on page 214 of the current annual catalog. They're retiring. Here's a card that I made. This is using the Myths and Magical Specialty Designer Series paper, and that was the glimmer paper that you could earn during celebration for free. And then this was the mini sequins ribbon, and I just put 3 layers on, so that was just a fun card to play with. This card I made for a video because I love this layout, and it is using the Bookcase Builders stamp set. And it's just such a fun, adorable stamp set, and you can do so much with it. So that's retiring. So is Moon Baby. The quilt embossing folder, it's carried over, which is great. So my sweetheart became a grandfather in January for the first time when his oldest daughter had a beautiful baby girl, and of course I had to have a fun baby shower for her. And his daughter, both his daughters have red hair, and the little baby, Sadie Marie, also has red hair. So of course I had to do red hair for the baby, but these were really fun cards to make. So that's using the Moon Baby stamp set. And I popped the umbrella up and I stamped the baby, but then I also just had her coming off that circle. So I really liked how that turned out. So that's a really sweet stamp set that's retiring. Here's another one using the You've Got This, and I've embossed it in white on watercolor cardstock, and then the technique is you fill it with water and then drop your ink into that using your aqua painter. So I've used some yellows and some oranges and things. So that was just a fun card to make. Beautiful stamp set. Now this is not retiring. This is the Apron of Love, and it's in our current occasions catalog, and it's a bundle. The bundle itself is retiring. So right now until the end of May, you can get the stamp set with the coordinating dies as a bundle and save 10%. After May 31st, you can only buy them individually. So I have a creative challenge, monthly creative challenge with my Serene Stampers team, and whoever wants to participate, I send them supplies to create a card. And 1 month I sent them the die cuts already cut out, and I said they could make whatever they wanted. If they had the stamp set, they could use the stamp set. If they didn't have it, they could use, you know, something else. And then they post their cards in our Serene Stampers page on our Facebook group. And my goodness, they came up with so many great cards and projects. So anyhow, this was mine. And this is a favorite recipe, by the way. If you want some more time stamping and less time cooking, and you have a slow cooker, this is what you want to make. It's delicious. And you just serve it on buns and melted cheese. It's really good. So anyhow, that's that. So again, you can only get Apron of Love as a bundle until the end of this month. Here's another card that I've made using the Tranquil Tulips, a host set that retires the end of May. And again, the bumblebees from our dragonfly stamps. And I stamped on vellum and ran it through the die, and then just kind of glued it just on the center, and it just kind of, it looks like wings. I put clear wink of Stella on it. So quite often I don't even post these cards on my blog or my Facebook or do YouTube videos because it's time consuming to do all that, but I'm always playing and I'm always creating cards for projects and inspiration for my team and classes and so on and so forth. So it's kind of fun to be able to show some of these to you now. Here's a card that I made a few years ago using vintage leaves again, and all I did is I stamped the images with Versamark and heat set them with silver embossing powder, colored them in with my inks, and I went around the edge of each one, it looks like with Pool Party, did some splatters from Timeless Textures, and then I used my journaling pens to go and make the border around there and my twine, and I can't think of right now what stamp set these words are from. But I just stamped them on black and embossed them with white and cut them out and popped them on Stampin' Dimensionals. So this is a beautiful stamp set. It's retiring, and the coordinating dies are also retiring. Lovely as a Tree, did you know that's retiring? I'm so kidding. I don't think that set will ever retire. It is so popular, and it's my last stamp set that I have in the old style cases. I'll actually show it to you. Here's my Lovely as a Tree. This is 16 years old. Because I got this stamp set the first year I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm still using it today. I love it, love it. So it's not retiring, but this card is one that I did at my workshops and classes last year, and it was such a hit. I sold tons of Lovely as a Tree stamp sets, but I also sold the Work of Art stamp set. And this image, the grass in the green and then the sky in the blue, that's from the Work of Art stamp set. So this was a really popular make and take, and I sold everything that I used on this. I can't remember what set this is from. I think this is from the set that had the hummingbird in it, but I could be wrong. I can't remember. Sorry about that. But isn't that a great card layout? I probably cased that from a card that I saw online. I can't remember where I got the inspiration for that, but I wanted to share that with you because Work of Art is retiring. So this Stamp You're Awesome is from Great Bake Greetings, which is retiring. The label dies are also retiring. And I used this set a lot. And I want to show you, I made this and I have no clue how I did it. I did it so long ago. Quite often I will play with my stamps and then they go into a little container so that I can finish making cards or projects with them later on. Same thing if I have extra die cuts and so on and so forth. So this was in my container and I came across it the other day. I'll show you the stamp set. This is it here, page 67. So it's a big stamp set. It's a fun stamp set. So I'm pretty sure, like, this is watercolor cardstock, so I'm pretty sure what I did is I stamped the image in Versamark and heat set it with silver embossing powder first. And then I do believe this is just ink pads. I really think I just used ink pads. So you would use your aqua painter, put your water on it first, squeeze your ink pad so you get ink on the lid, or you can use your ink refills, and then just pick up the ink and drop it onto the paper and it just spreads. So I'm pretty sure that's what I did, but I didn't have a chance to finish making this into a card, but I thought I would share it with you. This is from a host-only stamp set, and this card was inspired by my friend Melissa. She sent me, she's in my downline, and she sent me a card with a similar layout. This is it here. It's called Background Bits, and it's super pretty, and I made lots of cards, thank you cards for my customers using her card as my inspiration. So that's what that's from. This card was my swaps that I made for an on-stage event, and it uses the Feathery Friends, since I got my catalog handy. This set right here, this is a host only stamp set that's retiring. These were a lot of fun to make. What I did is I stamped them on my Whisper White cardstock and used my large letter dies, and I punched out the H after I stamped it and colored it, and then I mounted it on a piece of fun foam and just put it on top. So it's pretty close to the eclipse technique, just using the one letter, so it says be happy. So that was really fun. There's another card I made using the Flying Home stamp set and the Painted with Love Designer Series paper. And that was a really fun card to make. Sometimes it's fun just to play and color for no reason at all. I'm surprised how many cards I have using the You've Got This stamp set. I obviously went through a phase where I made a lot of cards using this set. So this is embossed with the black, and then I just watercolored it with my ink pads and my aqua painter and put clear Wink of Stella on top, with the wood grain Designer Series paper behind it, and that is being carried over into the new catalog. This card is made with the vintage leaves, and it is also made with the work of art. Both are retiring. So this is similar to the Bookcase Builders card that I showed you here. Same layout, but this is using the Garden and Bloom stamp set that's retiring. So that's a fun set. Another vintage leaves. So I've stamped my leaves, run them through the Bake Shop with the coordinating dies. I've also stamped some, or added some gold embossing powder. So those are retiring. This is a swap I received years ago. I don't know who it was from, but it's using the Flower Shop stamp set, which I love. I love this layout, so that's why I wanted to share it with you, because I know there's a lot of product on here that's retired, such as the Butterfly Punch. I know the leaves are from a Rose stamp set that's long retired, and the sentiments are retired, but I wanted to show you the great layout. And I also know that the Coordinating Pansy Punch is now sold out. You can still get the Flower Shop stamp set, but I loved this layout. There's Designer Series paper behind it with some vellum on top with Sweet Friend stamped on it. I think that's a beautiful card, so I wanted to share that with you. So Flower Shop, the stamp set, is still available until the end of this month. Here's another Vintage Leaves stamp set, and this was for a video I did earlier this month. Here's an oldie but a goodie that I found in my stash. This is a card I made using the waterfall technique and the Flower Shop stamp set. So there is part 3 of my swaps and cards